AITA for not forgiving my best friend after she told my husband I was cheating on him. I 30F have been married to my husband, Alex 32M, for 5 years. We have a good, solid relationship and trust each other completely. I've always been very close with my best friend, Emily 29F, and we've been friends since high school. However, recently our friendship has been put to the test. A few months ago, I went on a business trip for a week, and during that time, I noticed Emily was acting a bit strange. She seemed distant and wouldn't respond to my texts as quickly as usual, but I didn't think much of it. I figured she was just busy with her own life. When I came back from the trip, Alex confronted me about something that completely threw me off. He told me that Emily had contacted him while I was away and accused me of cheating on him. She claimed that she saw the way I was flirting with someone at a work event and that I had been texting other guys in a way that seemed inappropriate. I was absolutely shocked and devastated. There was no truth to what she said, and I couldn't understand why Emily would tell Alex something like that. I've never once been unfaithful, and I had no idea where she got these ideas from. I confronted Emily, and she admitted that she had seen me talking to a male colleague at the event, but she took everything out of context. She said she didn't like the way he was looking at me and assumed something was going on. I was furious. Emily had never said anything to me about her concerns, and instead she went behind my back and accused me of cheating. I told her that I couldn't trust her anymore and that I needed space. She apologized, but the damage was done. It felt like she completely betrayed me and violated my trust. Now, some of our mutual friends are telling me that I should forgive Emily, saying that she was just looking out for me and that she was worried about my relationship. But I don't feel like I can ever get past what she did. I've tried to move on, but every time I think about it, I feel so hurt and betrayed. So AITA for not forgiving my best friend after she told my husband I was cheating on him. AITA for refusing to babysit my sister's kids after she said I'm not a real parent. I 33M am a single dad to my daughter 6F. Her mom passed away shortly after she was born, so I've been raising her on my own for her entire life. It's been hard, but I've done everything I can to provide for her and make sure she's happy and healthy. My sister Claire, 35F, has 3 kids, 10M, 8F, and 5F, and is married to a great guy. They're both wonderful parents, but they often ask me to babysit their kids because they know I have a lot of experience with my own daughter. I don't mind helping out when I can, but lately it feels like they're asking me more and more, often with little notice. I've had to cancel plans, juggle my own schedule, and rearrange things to accommodate them. A few days ago, Claire called and asked if I could babysit for the weekend because she and her husband wanted to go on a couples retreat. I told her I couldn't because I had already made plans with my daughter for a special daddy-daughter weekend. Claire got upset and said that I should be willing to help her out since she has real responsibilities as a mother of 3, and that I only have 1 child. That comment really hurt me, and I told her that just because I have 1 child doesn't mean my responsibilities are any less important than hers. She brushed it off and said I wouldn't understand what it's like to be a real parent because I've never had to deal with multiple kids or juggle a full household. I was really offended and told her that if she thinks I'm not a real parent, then maybe she shouldn't rely on me so much for childcare. I refused to babysit, and now she's furious. She's been texting me nonstop, saying I'm punishing her over a small comment and that I'm being selfish for not helping her when she needs it. Even my mom has chimed in, saying I should just let it go because Claire has a lot on her plate. But I don't think I should be treated like a free babysitter, especially when she clearly doesn't respect my role as a parent. AITA for refusing to babysit after what she said. AITA for cutting off my mother-in-law after she made a joke about poking holes in our condoms. I, 38F, have been together with my husband James for 4 years. We are both child-free and do not intend to have kids in the future. When we first got married, we both told our family about how we didn't want to have kids and why. My family was fine with it, but his wasn't, especially my mother-in-law, who I'll call Mary for privacy. She's either passive-aggressive or just tells us we'll change our mind soon. For example, telling us, I can't wait to be a grandma, despite us not wanting children. If we try to say otherwise, she just pretends not to hear us. I've been very uncomfortable with this, and I have told my husband multiple times, but he's just brushed it off by saying, she'll accept it someday. However, it reached a limit. Recently, James was hosting a dinner party and invited his family as well as mine. While we were eating, my mother-in-law jokingly said, "You know, OP, I've considered poking holes into you and James' condoms so I could be a grandma. It's so smart, and you'd never know." Before laughing, I was horrified. After that, I excused myself and left the house. James followed after me, saying I was being dramatic and it was a joke. I told him that it wasn't a joke and what would happen if she actually did it. We kept arguing for a bit before he stormed back into the house and I drove off in my car. I've blocked my mother-in-law on all social media and deleted her number. The whole family's furious at me now, calling me sensitive and paranoid. AITA? AITA for grabbing a teen's arm after he tried to take a photo of me without permission? I'm 28F, and last weekend I went to a public beach with my husband, 30M, with our 2 children. While setting up our picnic area, I could notice how close some teenage boys standing nearby that were playing loudly and messing around with their phones. I did not think much of it until I felt the presence of one of them standing very close to me. I heard a shutter sound as the boy straightened his arm to take my picture, pointing the phone straight at me. I instinctively reached out and snatched his arm, telling him to delete the photo. He started laughing and told me to chill out. My husband came over to back me up at this point, but the other boys by then had begun shouting that I was assaulting their friend. A lifeguard finally came and intervened. I explained to them what had happened. The kid was asked to delete the photo, which he reluctantly did, but his parents who arrived at that moment were furious with me. They said that I had no right to grab his son's arm and that he was just kidding. My husband says I did the right thing, but my sister said when she heard what happened that I shouldn't have touched the boy and that I overreacted. Now I'm wondering whether I made a mistake for that. AITA? AITA for keeping contraceptives a secret from my boyfriend? I, 17F, have been dating my boyfriend, 19M, for around 3 years now. He doesn't wear condoms, and I've asked him to, so I told him I would be taking contraceptive pills as I am too young to have a child and I'm in education. He got very mad at me and told me I couldn't, so I decided to not take it. However, it's caused me extreme stress if I miss my period by a day, etc., which has made me very distracted. His reason behind me not taking pills was because he heard stories from other girls, but has still never gave me a valid reason for it. Fast forward a couple months, I have also had bad acne for around 6 years. I went to the GP today, who told me that it's best to take some sort of contraceptive that helps me with acne, as well as making sure I'm not pregnant. I really badly want to take the pill, but I'm scared to tell my boyfriend. However, I've been struggling with acne for a long time, and it's ruined my confidence. But I feel like I'm betraying him if I don't tell him, and I know he will see it as betrayal. What do I do? AITA for confronting my ex about letting our daughter see her abusive relationship? I, 28M, share custody of my 6-year-old daughter with my ex. A few weeks ago, my ex called me late at night, crying. She said her partner had hit her during a fight and stormed out. She also told me that our daughter had seen it happen. My ex had a black eye and bruises, and my daughter was sitting in a blanket, scared and quiet. She clung to me and wouldn't let go. I asked my ex why she didn't call the police, and she said it wasn't a big deal and that it had happened before. That's when I realized this wasn't the first time our daughter had seen her mom's partner hurt her. The next day, my daughter started asking me why her mom's partner was so angry and if it was her fault. I tried to explain that it wasn't her fault and that no one should hurt someone else, but I felt like her mom needed to address this directly. I called my ex and told her she needed to explain the situation to our daughter. I also told her it wasn't okay for her to keep exposing our daughter to this kind of behavior. My ex got defensive, saying I was making things worse and overreacting. I told her if this kept happening, I'd have to take legal steps to protect our daughter. Now my ex is angry, saying I'm interfering and making things harder for her. AITA for confronting her and insisting she explain the situation to our daughter.